Hi friends, today we are going to see a new topic called as service marketing. Why study service marketing? Why pick up a textbook on a service marketing? There may be a variety of reasons you are working in the service business. You are representing the customers you have got to because you are a student and it is a part of your course. Whichever the directions you start with, however, we believe that, like us, you will find a service marketing as a fantastic field of an academic study, firmly embedded in the real world. It is real because we all consume the services as a part of our daily life. A day in our life may involve, for example, listening to the favorite radio program, traveling on a train or a bus, visiting the shops and buying a snack at lunchtime, arranging a dental appointment, attending a lectures and tutoring, buying a books via the internet, and calling into the pub for a drink in the evening. At work, we may rely on the administrative, technical, and the clerical support services, and comes to expert that the offices, toilets, and the other rooms are regularly cleaned. Furthermore, we probably have an opinion on the levels of services offered in all these areas and are quite prepared to share our feelings of satisfactions, dissatisfactions with the services with the others. When we consume the certain type of services on a less frequent basis, for example, going on a package holiday, eating in an expensive restaurants, making a claim on an insurance policy, we are usually highly attuned to the service provider and perhaps even more likely to express our opinions of the quality of the services. But for many of us, we are not simply services consumers or the customers. We also provide the services. We are both consumers and products of an services. If you are reading this book, it is likely that you work in full time in a service industry or that you have some part time jobs in the service industry. This is a wonderful position from which to appreciate the issues involved with the marketing and the management of the services. In addition, you may well find that the marketing and the managing services that have played a several different service roles in our own cases. For example, although our service job may described as an teaching or lecturing, we have played an other roles such as researching, student counseling, consulting, and editing, with varying the degrees of the success. In the course of a study of a service marketing, you can and should make use of an experiences of consuming and providing the services. The experience can enable you to be constantly critical of the theory and to add in creatively to the theory. We believe that in a building an understanding of the services and hence of a service marketing and the management, you should, whatever possible, draw on experiences and the institutions. In so doing, this ensures a more interactive and lively vehicle for learning. So, our questions to the answers why the student study the service marketing is that it is an innovating services exercises in combining the theory and the practical knowledge to the further an understanding of something which is an important part of life. If we look at the historical development of a service marketing, it has been acknowledged that the service marketing developed academically because it is filled a need in the marketing practices. Service executive persuaded the academic that a different approach was required to understand the marketing of the services from the used for the making of goods. It may not be obvious immediately, but it will soon become an apparent that many services are incredibly complex and provide the different challenges for the marketing partitionaries, and academic alike. The complicity is illustrated by a story of an particular service experiences and the analysis that follows. The story: John Townsend and his son Jack, aged 14, were traveling to Singapore to join John's wife Jan, who was completed a spell of as a visiting lecturer at the National University of Singapore. They had chosen to fly with the Singapore Airlines. John had booked the flight through the internet. He was also very pleased with himself that his web search has an unearthed a lot of information about the Singapore. In particular, he had been able to book a Sunday brunch at the Raffles Hotel in Singapore for the three of them. An experience a friend had told him not to miss. John had never flown on a long haul before. His only experience of a scheduled flight was as a British Airways flight to Geneva. Jack had flown on a package holiday to Merano and Crete with the family and definitely did not like the flying. The 13 hours flight from the Manchester to Singapore was viewed with a fixed feeling. John regarded it as a part of a wonderful, never likely to be repeated experience with the bonus of seeing a Jan after 3 months apart. Jack just wanted to get it over. They arrived at the Manchester Airport Terminal 1 3 hours before the flight time, as instructed on the ticket. The reception hall was very crowded and noisy, but it was clear from the information on there highly placed. Multiple monitors that they have should check in the desk 21. The next problem was actually finding the desk 21. They could see the plenty of a desk with the destinations indicators above them, but they could not spot that particular number. An alarmed security guard was the only airport official around, so they can ask him for the assistance. He directed them politely to the desk 21. After passing the several long queues of the passengers with the trolley full of baggages, they were pleasantly surprised to see a small queue of only two passengers group. The surprise turned to frustration when they informed that they have mistakenly informed the Raffles class, that is the first class passengers queue. The red carpet should have been the giveaway and had to join instead the much longer economy class queue at the desk 22. In the check, John spent the time taking to a couple of an Manchester University female student who were flying home to Singapore. He learned a lot about the types of food and the place to eat and about which the tourist attractions were good value for the money and which were not. List checking in the baggage. John and Jack were asked a number of security related questions. Although they were standard practices, the question added a hijacker dimensions to the Jack's fear of flying. Finally, they were able to secure the plane seats in a non-smoking area, which was very important to both of them in the view of and length of the flight. Despite his economy class status, John felt quite pleased that he was traveling with an airline that to him was a symbol of an exotic travel. Jack couldn't have the cardless baggages successfully dispatched, and with the 2 hours of a still to wait, they made their way to the main concourse. It was brilliantly lit with a variety of shops, including John was surprised to see a branch of an herders located around a central seated area. The seats were arranged so that only about 20% of the passengers could see the flight information monitors clearly. Yet the passengers needed this information to know when to proceed to the passport passengers control. This situation seems to increase conjunctions, with the passengers frequently vacating their seats to look at the monitors, leaving their partners to spread out the luggages to hold on to the seats. This clearly irritated many passengers, and John started a mutual mourn about the lack of information with the family traveling to Dubai. John found the hours wait for proceeding to the passport control intermediate. Jack, with the heavy metal music blasting through his Dickman and many friends to chat to his mobile phone, was unprepared. After an uneventful passages through the customs, they entered the department long. There was some tables covered with an uncollected crockery and glasses, an expensive coffee bar, a self-service snacks bar, and a several shopping, including the duty-free outlets. It was very crowded. Passengers' information was provided on the monitors at a various locations in the lounge, hypothetically flashing messages about the departure time and the instructions to proceed to the gates. Occasionally, flurries of passengers actively meant that the instructions to proceed to the appropriate gates had flashed up. Jack, with a common sense of a youth, had spotted the two Singaporean students sitting in front of one of the monitors. Relax, Dad, he said. Just follow them when they move. It turned out to be the gate 2, which was a good 10 minutes away, even on a movable walkway. Through the windows, they could see several planes waiting to depart. John was pleased and reassured to see that their plane was one of the biggest. However, when they got on the board, although the interior was bigger than any they had ever seen, 8 seats to the each row and 2 corridors, the individual space per seat was disappointingly small, particularly for the John 6 feet 3 inches frame. They were both very impressed with the in-flight entertainment system. The people. The story highlights the importance of the people involved in the services in the terms of their individual behaviors and the attitudes and their interaction with the each others. People in this context are the customers, that is the passengers, and the contact personnel, people providing their services for the John and Jack. There were several different contact persons involved in the story. Jack and John came into the contact with the pilot and the co-pilot, the cabin crew, the baggage checkout persons, and the security guard. The latter, although not an employed by the airlines. This is practically appropriate with a service such as an airline, where because many airlines offer a similar bundles of benefits and fly the same planes from the same airports. The only hope of an competitive advantage is from the service level. Just as the different personal characteristics of the contact personnel will influence the nature of the services, so too will the different personalities of the customers. The customers typically experiencing a particular service may differ according to the characteristics such as age, gender, and socio-economic group. The Townsend's fellow passengers tended to be well-off families from a many ethnic group, quite a different mix from those on the families from many ethnic groups, quite a different mix from those of an package holiday to Crete. Fellow customers in the services setting can clearly influence a service experiences. They may be antiquated, example John and Jack, or the strangers so called as an unacquainted influencers. The story of a John and a Jack Townsend illustrates that the customer prescriptions of a service encounter differs, even if the customer receives the same core or a peripheral services. Personal and the situational factors governs the services prescriptions. John was looking forward to the flight and had planned to make the most of an world experiences. Jack, on the other hand, was nervous about the flying and just wanted the flight to be over as soon as possible. Various conjugative, emotional, and the psychological response affect their services experience. John believed that a long haul scheduled flight would be better than a charter flight, has categorized Singapore Airlines as exotic, and both he and Jack has been reassured by the size of a plane. John felt frustrated by the lack of available information and thus the lack of control in the departure lounge. Jack, although becoming increasingly anxious by virtue of a security check and the guards, was happy to sit and listen to the personal music in the lounges. Both were affected by the lack of a space in the plane. In the John's case, it was proving very uncomfortable on a related issues. Customer expectations of her service can vary. Singapore Airlines advertisements on the websites and the Jan accounts of her flights. It contrasts the Singapore students season that traveled had far more experiences with the airlines on which to form their expectations. Customer expectations and the prescriptions of a services are the key components of a measure of a customer satisfaction and service quality, covered in a detail in the upcoming. From the above, it can be seen that unlike physical goods that can often be mass produced and standardized, no two coffees will be served exactly the same even by the same cabin crew members. No two customers will interrupt the crew members' manners of an demeanors in exactly the same way. No two cabin crew member will be responded to their training in exactly the same way. Of course, a part of a variation in the services is due to the customer's participation in the services, either physically lifting the baggages onto the scales, walking to the correct gates, or verbally stating the requirements to sit in a non-smoking area, ordering the flight meals. Customer helps the procedure the produce the services as well as consume it. The physical evidence. By the physical evidence, we mean the exterior and the interior environment to the service setting and the equipment and the technology that the customer may encounter in their dealing with the service provider. Although the core services for the Townsend's quick, safe transport from the Manchester to the Singapore is essentially intangible, the story clearly shows that there are many tangible aspects that may affect their perceptions of the total service experiences. The exterior and the interior environment dimension of a services would include the ambient conditions of an airport and the aeroplane, temperature, air quality, music, noise, and so on. The utilization of a space, equipment, layout, furnishing, as well as the signs, symbols, and the aircraft. These elements made up what has been labeled the service space. In our story, the Townsends noticed noises and the heat of an airport and the lack of an signage and seating arrangement at the terminal. The lack of a space inside the plane itself affected both the passengers and the cabin crew. The service provider has a great deal of control over this part of a service package. For example, designing individual interactive entertainment system for the passengers with a monitor on the seats in the front gives the passengers more control and improves their flight experiences. Airlines also recognize the importance of an tangle members for the passengers to take away with them to remind them of an occasion. For example, in the flight magazines, toothbrushes, and the printed meal menus. These are often determinants of an repeat purchase. In the upcoming chapter, we look at the designs of a physical evidence of a service as well as the design of a service process. The equipped and the technology with the Townsends encounter the Indulunch, the internet, and in a flight entertainment system and moving walkway, each of which have been designed to operate independently of any contact person. These are the examples of a technology-based services. They were unavailable until the 1990s. These form and sale service are of a great interest to all the services providers as they increase the hours of business. For example, ATM space at the pumps, petrol stations, flight ticket missions, and may reduce the inheritance, that is, the human variability of a service provider. John and Jack are more likely to take a notice of the other equipment in the service escape if it does not work as it should. Broken baggages return conveyor belt system causes a delay and a lot of an ill feeling. Visible and invisible element of the services. The extended services experiments of a Townsend is determined by the elements that are visible to them. For example, the behavior of a contact person or the layout of an aeroplane and those which are invisible to them. For example, the staff training programs, the computerization of a baggage handling system, the catering preparation. Using the analogy of in service being like a drama performances, the visible elements are form stage, whereas the invisible elements are the backstage. The elements that are visible to the John and Jack are essential people and the physical evidence as demonstrated above. However, it is their interactions with the people and the physical evidence that determines the service experiences. They engage it in internal personal interactions with each other and with the other customer. For example, the students in the queue, a family from the Dubai in the designation launch. These are known collectively as a customer to the customer interaction. They engage in an interpersonal interactions with the many contact personnel, customers employee interactions. They engage in the interactions with the physical environment, equipment and technology. The visible elements, people and the physical evidence are common to the most services, hospital, education, restaurant, hotel, sportings, occasions, retail outlet, banks, package holidays, hairdressers, and so on. And likewise, the resulting interactions or determinants of a customer's experience in these services, albeit with a varying degree of relative importance, coming in the chapters devoted to an understanding of an interactions within the service encounters. It is also highlights that the importance of the effect made by the service providers to control the interactions with the customer to the customer interactions. For example, most managerial empathizes has been on reducing the possibility of a negative. Most managerial emphasis has been on reducing the possibility of a negative exchange between one customer and the other. This can be achieved by, for example, arranging the seatings so that John and the non-smoker does not have a seat next to the smoker. Some strategies have been put forward, however, to encourage a positive interaction by rewarding the customers who give us an useful advices to the other customers. A resulting pleasant conversation with a fellow traveler is both satisfying and make the time passes more quickly. The language used in understanding and writing about the services and the service marketing employs to the metaphors, the factory metaphor and the drama theater metaphor, each of which relates to the different goals of a services organization. If the goal is efficiently, probably with a concentration on the visible elements of a service operation, then the service is linked to the factory with an emphasis or inputs and the outputs to the process. If, however, the goal is the customer experiences, probably with a concentration on the visible elements, the people and the settings, then the service is linked to the theoretical productions with an emphasis on the performances. What may be particularly extrapolating to the people charged with the marketing and the managing of services is that a goal of an efficiency may suit one customer, for example, Jack. In the late 1990s and the early 2000s, there have been a great interest by the practitioners and the academics in providing the holistic experiences services for the customers. In the story, we see, for an example, that the John was expecting more than a routine flight between the two destinations, and also that the flight was perhaps only a component of a never to be repeated overall travel experiences. In the other context, such as shopping malls and storage, designs and the intent consumer experience is paramount in planning the setting and the activities. There are even claims that the service economy is being replaced on by an experience economy. Coming chapter, in which a few of these editions builds on the drama theater's metaphors to explore the customer's experiences. Small scale operators. First, the majority of a case studies describes the issues and the concerns that affects the small scale service operators that are generally neglected in the wider services marketing literatures. Although these businessmen may not make a such significant financial contribution to the service economy as a large scale operators, frequently cited in the literature. For example, bank, building, societies, insurance agencies, telecommunication organizations, hotel chains. They often make a significant social contribution to the welfare of the communities in which they operate. The social role performed by the service covered in this book is an important theme running through the cases. As the people point out, the service encounters are a form of a human interaction important not only to their direct participant, clients and providers, and the service organization that sponsors them, but also to the society as a whole. Human involvement in the service experiences. The service selected involvement a high level of an human interaction. Most commonly, this consists of an interaction between the contact person and the customers, but it may be also be between the fellow customers during the service experiences. This perspective enables us to focus on the whole range of a problem faced by the service managers struggling to control the human involvement in the service delivery progress. Solomon uses an quotation from a service manager to illustrate the unpredictability and the importance of an human exchanges in the service experiences in an article of the service encounters. In a service business, you are dealing with something that is primarily delivered by the people to the people. Your people are as much as of your products in the customer's mind as any other people attributes to the services. People performances day in a day out fluctuates up and down. Therefore, the level of constancy that you cannot count on and try to communicate to the consumer, it is not a certain thing. The cases illustrate the most important of the development of a long-term personal relationship to the continued success of many service operations. Easily replicated format. Although reading, writing, studying and analyzing the written case studies provides an effective means for matching the theory and the practices, it is not the same as an actively studying a real service organizations. We have found the undergraduate and the postgraduate students can gain an enormous benefits from writing their own case studies of a small service businesses. Indeed, there are case studies in this book were written by the students group we have supervised in the past 3 years, and in a depth study of a real small service organization can often be achieved over a period of 2 months or so. And any interviews with the service owners, managers can be guided by the checklist of questions below we have highly recommended. To provide an overview and a background to the services in the modern economies, and the basic building blocks of in-services marketing researchers. In particular, the chapter objectives are to empathize the scope and the characteristics of a service in a range of business formats, to demonstrate the economic importance and the growth of in-service in the advanced economics, to provide a summary of an historical advantage in the servicing marketing and the importance of in-servicing marketing fixes, to illustrate the various services classification system and their application in sharing the successful practice and clarifying a managerial issues, to introduce the concept of a service oriented business and the elements that contribute to a measurement of a service orientation. In the previous chapters, though we uses of a story, we identify a number of an important concepts of an servicing experiences. Interest in these components have resulted in the research and an establishment body of a knowledge of an service marketing. A key feature of a much of an research has been the clear link between the theory and the practice. We now set the constant to the more detailed study of the theory and the practice in the service marketing. This chapter is divided into 4 sessions. First, we look at the scope of an service provision and the importance of a service in many of the today's economics. Second, we examine the evaluation of an subdisciplines of a service marketing over time and reflects on its current status. Third, we summarize some of the systems that had been used to classify the services. Finally, we explore the concept of servicing orientation of a business and the management toolkit for it in measurement. Specific examples of linking a theory to practices. Scope and importance of the services. Scope of an service provision. It is difficult to think of an organization that are not involved with the service in some form or another. Some example, some organization declares the whole business to be a service business. There are many examples in the private sectors. This word would include a constancy business, for example, IT, public relations, accounting, airlines, estate agents, hairdressers, dry cleaners, and the travel agents. In the public sectors for many countries, it would include, for example, health or education. In the non-for-profit sectors, it would include the charities and many local government services. In the business to the business sector, it would include a delivery services, technical services, maintenance services, and the recruitment services. Some organization declares her services to be a part of their business. Many organizations have a serious provider within their business. Multiple retailers, for example, rely on the administrative services and technical services with their own organization. There is always a decision to make as to whether these services are better providing within an organization or whether they should be outscored. The use of an information technology by business, for example, it's being transformed from the growth of an pay as you go services. This is application services provides who hold software at the data center and allows the customers to use it over the internet or a private network. Some organizations declare services and augmentations of manufactured good. This is seen extensively with the sales of an traditional manufactured good. For example, a new car comes with a warranties, free delivery, and so on. Or the purchase of a new carpet includes a fitting services. This categorization above is probably familiar to the most readers. They demonstrate that the wide and a varied number of services that are carried out, typically each and every day by organization of all the sizes. The body of a knowledge built up in the service marketing will apply whether the service is a whole business, part or a business, or an augment of an manufacturer goods. In particular, these are certain common characteristics of in services that applies in all these cases. These characteristics, heterogeneity, inseparability, and possibility, which distinguish services from the physical goods, have become the fundamental building blocks of most services marketing research and or as fundamental to study of a services marketing as the P4S product, price, promotions and the place, or to the field of marketing in general. Given their importance, we consider each characteristics in the turn. Overall, learning the outcomes. Having read the chapters and undertaken the case studies, you will be able to do identify the theoretical aspects of a servicing marketing. In particular, will be able to critically evaluate the theoretical contribution to service marketing. Integrate the consumer, customer, and providing a perceptions of the services. Second, understand how theory translates into a service practices. In particular, you will be able to choose an appropriate service marketing frameworks to analyze a service business. Apply a flexibility in your study of an new and a developing service practices. Setting the content. Learning objective. Overall aim of an chapter to provide an overview of and a background to the services in the modern economics and the basic building blocks of a services marketing research nominees and the factor metaphor empathizes services as a process. The design of a services process is covered in the coming chapter with a special focus on a service blueprinting. This approach ensures that the invisible elements supporting the services delivery are understood and fully integrated. We have found that the services blueprint is not only internal to service design and post-turning, but it is also provides a useful visual tool for creative services ideas. In the chapter 7, we explicitly acknowledges the people aspect of in services, particularly the role of in contact personnel. Attention is given to the internal marketing, that is, marketing to the employees as an internal customers, and the human resources services management issues. As the story demonstrates, customer passengers may be make a contact with the several people who are providing the services, some of whom are more empowered people than the others to improvise, but of all whom should, as far as the company is concerned, be, be offering passengers the service which is promised. This represents a great challenge to the most servicing organization, large or small. John and Jack each had their own prior expectations of an air travel services. On meeting Jan in Singapore, each could recount his actual perceptions of the same services. Why did they think about the quality of the services? Were they satisfied with the services or even delighted? Did they view differs? If their expectations were exceeded, it is like that they would be satisfied and give a high quality verdict. Service quality and the customer satisfaction are reconciled as important services output measures. To increase the service quality and or a customer satisfaction within an appropriate budget, it is normally a part of a mission of a service organization. In the coming chapters, the current work and the debates of in service quality and the customer satisfaction and look at the models that are based on a gaps between the customer's expectation and the subsequent perception of her services. Given Jane's worshipping relationship with the Singapore, there is possibility that the airport and the Singapore Airlines would wish them to travel with them again. In the other words, they wish to retain them as a customer, and concentration on a customer's retention through a marketing policy which merges the marketing customer services and the quality elements is termed relationship marketing. This is covered in the upcoming chapters and builds on the material in which the earlier chapters, particularly will be seen. Implements in the management and the marketing of a services is a desire for the organization to make a profit or break even in the case of an non-for-profit services and to achieve a certain level of the productivity. Perhaps surprisingly though, there is a still little expertise references in the services marketing literature to the issues of a service profitability and the productivity. Finally, in the upcoming, we look forward and outline some potential features and associated research issues. We are made aware regularly of the interest in the service marketing by the manner of students at an undergraduate and the postgraduate level who understand the discretions in the field. This chapter contains the idea of such the works, characteristics of the case studies in this. The case studies enable the practices and the theory to be integrated. They are different from but complement the case studies that are in many of the other textbooks on the service marketing. The cases in this book generally shares the characteristics outlined below. Small scale operators. First, the majority of cases studies describe the issues and concerns that affects the small scale services operators that are generally neglected in the wider services marketing literature. Although these businesses may not have such a significant financial contribution to the service economy as the large scale operator frequently cited in the literature. For example, banks, building societies, insurance agencies, telecommunications, organizations, hotels, chains. They often make a significant social contribution to the welfare of the communities in which they operate. The social role performed by the service covered in this book is an important and is running through the cases. Service encounters a form of an human interactions important not only to their direct participant, clients and providers and the service organization that sponsors them, but also to the society as a whole. But not another John, for example, may prefer more often experiences to remember, savoring every moment. Service goals and the uses of an metaphors are considered. The structure of the book. The story has provided a specific example of many of the issues and the key areas of service marketing. Clearly, a single scenario will not address all the issues. However, the story and a brief discussion of an element that makes up the service experiences, providing a useful starting point for the explanation the structures of the remainder of the book. In the upcoming, we can set the context by examining the ways in which the service can be defined and the potential range of an application of a services marketing theory. As will be seen, it is not just business that refers to themselves as a service business that can make use of the theory. Some fundamental building blocks of the theory, characteristics of the services, perceived risks of the services, the service marketing mix, and the classification of the services, and introduced. All can be related back to the story above, but cleverly have widespread applications which will be illustrated with the examples from a range of services. The importance of the services in many economics is increasingly rapidly, and some national and the global statistics are provided to empathize the scope of and development of the service economy. The chapter also charts the evolution of a service marketing as an academic sub-discipline and outlines the hot issues of the 21st century. Finally, theory and the practices are brought together through the discussion of the elements of an research instruments server which accompanies can be used to measure the service orientation or they really structure to provide the good or even excellent services. Use of a metaphor in the services marketing is well recognized by the academic and the participants alike. With the former, we happily use the services as a factory and the drama theatre. With the former, we happily use the expression such as service delivery, service productivity, efficiency, and the process. With the latter, we talk of service performances, roles and scripts for the employees and the customers, front and a backstage, and servicing setting. But metaphors are helpful in understanding the services and providing a language of communication. We can explore the use of metaphors in some details, especially relating to the service goals, to mix the metaphors. We firmly believe that the metaphor usage is important in constructing how the service is preserved by the customers and service organization in the service goal efficiency or the performances. But equally, we are aware of these limitations. Our airline passengers interacted with the contact personnel, the built environment represented by the airport and the aeroplane, and with the other passengers. They benefited from the efficient but invisible service elements such as flight metal preparations and computerized reservation system. Their encounter with the service was for a finite period. These features are common to many services. In the upcoming, we can concentrate on the services encounter and its central role in the marketing of the services. The personal, situational, conjugative, emotional, and psychological factor peculiar to the particular customers are relevant here and affect the content of a services encounter. Interpersonal service encounters are extremely important, but the internet in particularly has a rapid increase the need to learn more about the technology based service encounters. Is still an contributor to the passengers. Service experiences. The appearance and the manner of an contact personal as well as the two words that actually speak their scripts. To use a drama analogy can significantly affect the passengers' overall prescriptions of the services. Their status will also influence the extent to which they can vary the nature of an interaction with the passengers or are constricted by the predetermined script. For example, the baggage checkout employees must go to their set security spirit even if it is distressing to the Jack, whereas the senior cabin crew stewards may be allowed to use an initiative and improvisation to calm a nervous passenger. It is a major challenge for many service organizations to train all the employees to promote their ideals of a customer services, especially if some contact restaurants persons are employed by the countries. For example, the security guards, restaurant staffs, or the cleaners. The issues are covered in more details in the chapters. The important role played by the contact persons is empathized by the beat sense, who notes that the contact persons can be a source of a different. Each passenger had an individual controls and his or her over the monitor on the seat in the front. Not only were up to the date films available for viewing, but the system was interactive. Jack immediately sought out the flight magazines to find out the range of the video games available. John soon stopped worrying about where to put his feet as he started to look around at the fellow passengers. There was a mix of families, couples, ages, and the ethnic groupings, but quite a few empty seats as well. The children ages of a family in the front appeared to be very worldly wise and were already talking about the Changi's airport and making the plans to get one of the three toothbrushes from the toilet before they are all taken. John mused to himself that he had already experienced so much and yet they had not even started on the flight. Jack stiffened during the cabin's crew denomination of an emergency procedures, but relaxed visibly when the pilot calmly described the flight routes. John began to relax after the complimentary drink, and the Jack worked out of his personalized program of a movie watching. The cabin crew, one man and three women, all were elegantly dressed, were extremely polite and helpful. Nothing was apparently too much trouble. At the one stage, they searched the complete economy session looking for a smoker who would be prepared to swap the seats with the non-smoker seats in the smoking area. This, however, was not possible. They even found out the English football results at the request of her passengers. Jack decided that he needed to go to the toilet at the very time when the cabin crew have started to serve dinner. But there was no way past the meal trolley for the next 30 minutes. He had to sit and suffer. John and Jack, John and Jack tacked with the shrimp Newburg and listened to the co-pilot explained how they could follow the route on their video system. As the pins and the needles and in his legs increased, John thought that enormously of a business class passengers, not to mention the Raffles class passengers, in their spacious seat. When the plane was over Calcutta, he even wished that he has paid twice as much as of the extra comfort. Almost all the incidents described in the story should happen to the air travelers irrespective of their points of departure or of airline used. Therefore, this is not a story specifically about the Manchester airport or about the Singapore Airlines, but describes the feelings and the appreciations of a service customers as well as the facilities offered by the service providers. It contains an element and issued that are commonly to the most type of services, not just the air travel. These elements and the issue form the content of much of the service marketing's academic and particular literature. We start with an examination of three fundamental aspects of services: process, people, and the physical evidence, the management of which contribute to the success or otherwise of the marketing of the services. We then take a different perspectives by focusing on the visible and invisible to the passengers elements of an air transport servicing the provision to the highlight issues of an relevance to the marketing of all the services. The progress. Shortak in the earlier 1980s affirmed that the service not a thing but a progress. The progress is the product. Service or process that occurs over time. The very way that the story of a John and Jack flight to the Singapore store empathizes the process element. They entered the concourse that they looked at the information screen, then they asked the way to the desk 21. Then the complexity of a services experience can be appreciated very clearly when it broken down into the many progress components. Even what may have happened appears at the first glance to be a realistic simple services. For example, a gents barber can be seen to be quite complex when viewed as a complete progress. It was always surprising to discover how many distinct processes of an element they are for services. Try counting the number of the clicks on the mouses for a straightforward services by the internet, such as checking your current account balance using your bank websites. The fact that a process has many elements can be a several implication for a service managers. First, while there may be a core services that the customers are paying for, there is also a many peripheral elements to the services. The core services offering is that the necessary outputs of the organization, which are intended to provide the intangible benefits to the customers are looking for. Peripheral service are those where are either indispensable for the exhaustion or of a course services or the available only to improve the quality of a service bundle. In the airport scenario, the flight itself is obviously a major component, that is, it means of traveling quickly and safely from the Manchester to the Singapore. This could be described as a core element in this content. There are, however, a range of an extra components of a service which are still highly valued, such as meals and drinks on the plane. In the flight, entertainment and the pillow, blanket, and the toothbrushes for the passengers' control. Comfort, the peripheral element. Of course, the passengers may not think this way and may give the more weight to the sum of an peripheral elements than to the core services. How often have you heard people voicing the complaints about the food served on the plane or the lack of the drink, even though the flight was on the time with the smooth taken off landings? Furthermore, each separates elements in the progress, whether it is a core or a peripheral, can be a cause of a customer's dissatisfaction. Second, when does the service begin and ends for the customer? For a Townsend's, the first contact with the services provider, that is the Singapore Airlines, was via their website. The last contact for his journey at least would probably be at Changi's airport in Singapore, where a whole new set of services would have been provided. As will be discussed in the coming chapters, certain the encounters with the services organization may be more important than the others from the customer perspectives, especially the first encounter. The website has to be easy to use. Third, the two cents had relatively stress free service experiences. It is not unknown, however, for the various elements in the flight progresses to result in the service failures. For example, the flight is delayed, the baggage got missing. Passengers in the main will understand the reason for the service failure, but will also accept the service providers to recover the situation to their satisfaction. Service organizations study the service process in a greater detail to ensure that they have a sound service recovery strategies in the place. Service recovery is very important aspect of service marketing and is dealt with both the upcoming chapters. Fourth, unlike the physical goods, time cannot be stored and used later. The empty seats on the Manchester off to the Singapore flight cannot be resold. With the processes, approximate management of supply and the demand is crucial to the business success. Finally, the process is not exactly the same for all the passengers. The Raffles first class passengers, for instance, were given the different treatment both before and during the flight. They would have a faster check-in and a wider choice of food and drink, more leg rooms, greater speed of services, and so on. The design of a higher level of an customization of a services for the raffle passengers relates to the design of the process. Intackability. Pure services such as constancy sessions with a psychiatrist cannot be touched, nor can travel on the train or aeroplane, although the train and the aeroplane are themselves tangible. Nor can you touch the atmosphere on the train or aeroplane, nor can you touch a conversation with the fellow passengers. You cannot touch an aerobic class and can only make a full assessment of the quality of a services offered after having attended the class. A service is something which can be bought and sold, but which cannot drop on your foot. This clearly differences from the purchase of a nectariner, for example, where the customers can touch the product beforehand and decide whether or not to buy it based on its color and or textures. Different aspects of marketing became more important in the service content. For example, a customer may rely heavily on the advice of a friend when consider whether to take a part in an aerobics classes, whereas the special prime promotion that could more easily influence the decisions to buy an nectarine. The intangibility characteristics of a services often increases the risk for the purchasers. Some services are perceived to be riskier than the other depending on whether they are high in search factors, experiences factors, or their crescent factors. A service that is in high search factors is one about which the customers can some get some prior information as to what they will receive. For example, the staining shop may promises that after 5 sessions you will look as a brown as a person on the photograph, or the breakdown services may claim to provide an assistance within 2 hours for any parts of the country. In each cases, your search have provided some information that affect your perception of a risk involved with the purchase. A service that is high in the experiences factors is one that the customers must try out the experiences before they can decide whether or not it is a good deal. Paying for a holiday package, for example, is high in an experience factor as it involves so much more than can be convinced by the holidays brochures. Paying for the experiences of an bungee jumping is more extreme example. Purchase of the services is perceived to be more risky than of those that are high in search factors. A service that is high in crescent factors is one that it is difficult to evacuate even after experiencing it. These are the services that are often offered by the professionals or the experts in their field. For many of us, it would be difficult to evaluate whether the service offered by the doctors, vets, car mechanics, plumbers, or the survivors are value for the money, simply because we do not have the knowledge to question them. Service such as these are preserves to be very risky and require a high degree of an reassurance from the service providers. Thank you.